Hello, Pirate Nation. Hope you're doing well today. Just trying to touch base with all of you before we come back to school on Monday. And just to kind of give you a heads up, we do have a hybrid plan B and orientation presentation. It looks like this if you go to our website, where this is the information I'll kind of be reviewing today. And just wanted to, again, touch base with you and kind of give a little bit of what's going to be transpiring next week and some of the processes and plans that are in place, just to kind of keep you informed through another avenue, another outlet here. So first thing within that presentation, we do have our student handbook that is posted in there for students to review. We'll review that again once they get on site, but it's always a good idea for students to review that ahead of time and see some of the rules, expectations, and procedures. And we'll go over that on Monday and Thursday morning when students come here for the first time. So they'll report the first block, and they'll have a Zoom meeting. Every class will have a Zoom meeting with me first thing that morning, and we'll go over all of these things with them. So we'll, again, have that orientation in-depth information session with them when they first arrive to school. So, again, we do have cohorts coming. So there's Cohort 1 and there's Cohort 2. Cohort 1, his last name's A to K. Cohort 2, his last name's L to Z. Cohort 1 will come on Mondays and Tuesdays. Cohort 2 will come on Thursdays and Fridays. Now, the teacher's material will be taught new material every single day of the week. Wednesdays is what we call asynchronous learning. So on Wednesdays, there will not be live sessions, but teachers will post material and things and items for students to complete on that day. So we do need to make sure that they are logging in, still doing the attendance assignment, and still going through the material and making sure they're completing those assignments and material for that day and those lessons. But again, teachers will be going through each day, and it'll be the students' responsibility that are not here on site to log in during those class times. And again, those class times are going to change from what we're used to. So the new schedule will go into effect on the 19th. So that means classes will start at 7:15 a.m. for first block, or that's when we're letting in, that's the tardy bell for first block. It might start a little bit later than that because we're doing the health screening and the intake of students to school. But also we will go 1 hour or 70 minutes of class time back to back to back to back. So they'll go to first block, they'll have a 10-minute break in between classes, and then go to second block for 70 minutes. Have a 10-minute break in between classes, then go to third block, and so on and so forth. At 12:40, that's when we will transition to what's called pirate time. And pirate time will include lunch, and it will also include instructional support sessions. So students will go back while they're here to either first, second, third, or fourth block, depending on the day, and we have that schedule posted, and it's in this presentation. So you can go back and see where they're supposed to go during pirate time. And during pirate time, they'll eat lunch, they will have instructional support, remediation, acceleration. Teachers can work with students that are struggling or need additional help or need to make something up. So any material that might have been lost during this time of remote learning, they can still take that time during that time to get caught up. Also, teachers can utilize that time for their office hours that they normally would have done at different times. So this schedule does start the 19th. So students that are not on site have to log in with their synchronous classes. And teachers will have attendance assignments posted in their Canvas courses each day in order to get credit for being in the class each day. So we need to make sure that we check that schedule out. It does start, again, on Monday. And again, that pirate time is that instructional support. There's not going to be any new material during that time, but it's really needed to make sure that we go back and help our students. So something else that was just posted this morning at about 6 a.m. is our pirate time early release form. And this form is live, and parents need to fill this out if they wish to. They do not have to. So if you feel that your student has really good grades and feel that they can leave at 12:40 at the end of the day, at the end of the instructional day, which is at the end of fourth block, at 12:40 you want your student driver to leave, you can fill out this form and then they can actually leave for the day. They will get a pass saying that they have early release from pirate time. Student drivers can do that. If you're not a student driver, a parent can pick up their student if they choose to at that time. But they will, so student drivers will leave through the front lobby. If you're a parent going to pick up your student and you filled out this form, then you will go through the actual carpool line. The carpool line goes behind the school around to the main gym area, and the students will exit that side. Same thing in the morning, they will enter through that side. So students that are getting picked up from parents during pirate time will do so at that area. Now, if you're staying for pirate time, you have to stay the whole time. There's not going to be, I stay for one block and not the other. So if you leave, you're leaving. If you're staying, you're staying. And again, you have to provide your own transportation. Students can't just sit around and outside. They have to have their mask on the whole time that they are waiting for their ride or going to their vehicle. So again, that pirate time early release form is live. Parents can go in there and fill that out. We will issue passes starting next week for students to be able to utilize that process. Now, we'll have a disclaimer in that form that if students' grades are not where they need to be, we can say they can't leave. That they will have to stay for pirate time because that means they need that additional instructional support. So just be aware that those, even though they might have received permission from parents, we can still take that away due to their grades. So just know that the grades are tied to being able to leave before pirate time. Again, the instructional time, we just talked about that with the schedule. There's going to be about 70-minute blocks, and students will need to log in to that remotely as well. There might be something where the live session is 15-minute lesson, and then they ask the students that are not here to redo something, reinforce something, and then come back together. So there will be a variety of things. It might not be where they are live the entire 70 minutes. There's going to be a variety of deliveries here. So just make sure we're checking our teachers' Canvas websites. Our teachers are really communicating well, so make sure that we're checking that out. With instructional time on site too, it is important that students bring their school-issued devices, or if they have their own laptop or device, they need to bring that as well. There might be periods of time where they are still having to use a device and log in and out. With that, they need headphones. So again, we're interacting with people on site and off site, so sometimes it is important to have these devices in front of us. So make sure that we bring those back and forth, that we're taking care of those. If there's an issue with a device, please reach out to us and we will do what we can to issue you a device sometime next week to help out with that. But that's really important. Again, devices and headphones or earbuds to help out with that, please. Also, moving in with assignments and attendance during this time. So assignments. We'll have lessons during class. They'll complete assignments during class time. But outside of that, we're still sticking with the no more than 30 minutes per class, per course for assignments outside of a regular class. AP classes is up to an hour, so we do need to consider that. Also, attendance. If you are designed to be in a cohort, then you have to be here to be counted present. So if you come on Monday and decide you're not coming on Tuesday, you can't log in and do the attendance assignment and get counted present. If you're supposed to be here on site for a cohort, then you have to be here for the assignment for the attendance to be counted present. Now, when you're not supposed to be here, you still need to do the attendance assignment through the Canvas course. Something else with grading, when we were just remote, we talked about teachers putting in grades within 3 days of the assignment. Again, there's going to be some changes to that. We're looking at updating grades at least once a week. So it's not really tied to a 3-day platform. It's updating grades one time per week. So make sure we're looking at that. Check Parent Portal. Sometimes people are looking at the Canvas, and Canvas isn't linked to Parent Portal. Make sure you're checking Parent Portal for those grades, not just Canvas. And with the health and screening and safety, so kind of to talk about our day of students will come in the building starting at 6:45. They cannot come in before that. They cannot get out of cars at carpool. So students coming in, student drivers, will come in through the front lobby area. There'll be 3 people there taking temperatures and asking health screening questions. Carpool, they will take your temperatures again. You'll go around the back of the school. You'll come around to the side where the main gym is, the football field area. You'll see people out there directing you for traffic. They'll take your temperature before you get out of the vehicle. And then people getting off of the buses will take their temperatures as they get off of the bus. If a student has a temperature, we will pull them to the side. We'll take their temperature again in 15 minutes. If they still have a temperature, if they're with a parent, we'll ask them to leave. We'll document the name, and we have to put you in a health screening form. If your parent is not here, for example, you got off a bus, we will take you to a safe area. We will call the parent and ask them to come pick you up. So there will be that screening protocol. We will have areas where there will be isolation, but safe areas for them to be. if they do have some type of symptom or they do have some type of temperature. So I know that we are doing that. Once they get through the screening process, they'll go straight to first block. Teachers will be out in the hallways. We will be asking them to stay 6 feet apart. There's stickers in our hallways that indicate exactly 6 feet away. So we're asking that they please honor those, keeping masks on the whole entire time as well. If students do not wear masks and refuse to wear one, it will be a discipline consequence. So again, that it's not a non-negotiable. They have to wear their mask. They have to follow the protocol. If there's safety protocol not being followed by a student, there will be discipline consequences. There's really not a lot of room for acting up as well, just because there's so many things happening in a given moment and day, trying to make sure instruction is taking place and working through this type of environment. So really helping with that would be beneficial. Students will go to, again, first block. They'll have a 10-minute transition. There'll be some sanitation in between classes. Then they'll go through their blocks each day. At 12:40, the actual instructional day of new instruction will stop, and that's when the pirate time will start. That's when lunch will happen. They'll eat in their designated block. They will not eat in the cafeteria. So they will go through pirate time. They will exit the building at 2:15. And when they come in, they get out of the vehicle, they have to have their mask on. When they're leaving, they have to keep their mask on until they get into their vehicle. So again, when they're on campus, mask on, they need to follow that protocol. They can't be outside of their vehicles if they're student drivers. You have to be in there, get back in the vehicle, and wait to exit and all of that. So again, just really asking to make sure that we follow that protocol there. Again, we've already talked about the arrival procedures and exiting procedures. Again, carpool for parents that are new to Corinth. They'll go around the back exterior of the building. It'll funnel you into the parking lot right next to the main gym area, which is in between the school and the football field. And that's where the temperatures will be taken in the morning, and that's where you'll pick up in the afternoon as well. Now, water fountains, we're not going to have functioning water fountains. We're going to ask students to bring their own water bottles. If there's a case of emergency where they really need water, we will provide it. They just need to ask. Also, restrooms. Restrooms are limited to 4 people at a time inside of a restroom. So we will have people on restroom duty allowing students in and keeping students out. So there might not be a time where they can go to the restroom in between classes. They might have to go during a class. So just know that that restroom is going to be limited in its capacity. We're also trying to limit how many interactions that are taking place on a given day. So just again, there are going to be some of those little procedures that we need to make sure that we're following. Also, just be aware. There, with the symptoms, with people that have become symptomatic or come down with COVID or any of the different scenarios, there could be a situation where your student's teacher is not here. Or it could be a situation where this classroom is not going to be here today due to someone being symptomatic or somebody being in contact or close contact with someone. And so there could be a given day where if I'm in a class on Monday and somebody is a teacher's out on Tuesday, I might have to go and sit in the back of another teacher's classroom and do my lesson remotely from another teacher's classroom. It might be where somebody comes into a classroom and is a sub and is pulling up the smart panel and showing the teacher teaching from home. So there's a lot of different scenarios of things that can happen during this time. We are trying to be as flexible as we can, but just know that it's not always going to be the exact ideal situation, because this is, again, going to be an adapting situation where we have to adapt, students are going to have to adapt, and parents are as well. So we're just trying to prepare and put that out in the forefront and just prepare you for all those different scenarios that could possibly happen. Perfect scenario, students back in the classroom, teachers are teaching them, but also that can change on a daily basis with what's going on in the world today. So just be prepared for that as well, and we'll do whatever we can to make a good transition back to school. We'll do whatever we can to continue to provide the best instruction we can for our students. Our teachers are working extremely, extremely hard. So again, we're having grace with our students. We need a little bit of grace too. We know that there's going to be things that are going to have to be adjusted when we get back. Some questions we can't answer until we get students in the building and we figure out how to work this problem, how to work this process. So we're excited to have students back. But we also want to do it in the safest way possible. And again, check our website for all these updates. Check our website for all this information. We're updating as much as we can and putting as much information as we can each and every day out there. So again, we look forward to having you come back to school soon, and we're excited to have Pirate Nation back in this building. Y'all have a wonderful day.